There are two options today: continuation of the discussion of national education, new education policy, or our regular discussion. Since we were going through and at some part we had to stop abruptly in the last week, I prefer carrying forward and somebody else, because last week very few got chance to speak. I'm sure somebody else also is prepared in the class. I request them also to come forward. Shall we begin with concluding the last week's discussion, Manshi? Tanisha? May I know your plan? Anybody is ready? Anybody who's prepared? Anisha is not there. What is this? You have planned not to talk in the class today?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You want to conclude? Last week, you had lots of preparation, but we had to cut because of time. Mainly, it was we could concentrate on aspects of school education. The higher education part, which you had, we could not. Shall we conclude the school education discussion which we were doing? We had the discussion mainly on the stages, the newly suggested change in the structure of school education.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
there was some discussion on the language policy or the language aspect of the new curriculum. These are the major changes which we can see in the new policy. One is the structural change, which is unlike the earlier policy, unlike the 10 plus 2, it is the 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, which is a major structural change which has been recommended, and it's going towards implementation slowly. That's one we had a discussion on. And another more discussion came on the language, the three language policy. If there is any other views, opinion, if anybody wants to say, you can say that. Manisha was so well prepared and she gave a very good presentation also in the last class. If nobody is prepared, we can request Manisha to continue with her teacher education. You have, right, Manisha?
Yes, ma'am.
Because we are directly concerned with school education and teacher education, though higher education also we can look generally. If there is some points, I request somebody else. I'm sure you have seen newspaper, TV discussion, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, where a lot of discussion is going on. I'm sure some of you have something to share. So shall we give to Manisha to continue then? Okay, Manisha.
Okay, ma'am.
Mm,
I start.
yeah.
Ma'am, today we will discuss about the higher education, that what the new changes came in this policy, that is higher education. Education means after the education from what 10 plus 2, the education that we will continue we continue till the means मतलब जब तक हम लोग पढ़ना चाहते हैं तब तक की हायर एजुकेशन की यहाँ बात हो रही है. देन देयर इज अ न्यू थिंग दैट एडेड इन दिस पॉलिसी, दैट इज मल्टीपल एंटर एंड मल्टीपल एग्जिट. व्हाट इट मीन्स, इट मीन्स दैट अगर हम एक साल करके अगर हम पढ़ाई किसी कारण से बिकॉज ऑफ एनी इश्यूज, बिकॉज ऑफ एनी फैमिली इश्यूज और इकोनॉमिक, बिकॉज ऑफ बैड इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड, सो मैं वो एक साल करके छोड़ सकती हूँ कॉलेज. और अगर मैं एक साल करके छोड़ रही हूँ और मैं 2-3 साल के बाद फिर से अगर ज्वाइन करना चाहूँ कॉलेज, तो मुझे वो फर्स्ट ईयर से कंटिन्यू नहीं करना पड़ेगा जैसे कि हर साल करते थे कि हमारा एक साल बर्बाद हो गया और अब हमें फर्स्ट ईयर से फिर से कंटिन्यू करना पड़ेगा. इट मीन्स अगर हम फर्स्ट ईयर कंप्लीट करके छोड़ चुके हैं दूसरे कॉलेज और फिर से हम कंटिन्यू करना चाहते हैं, तो हम सेकेंड ईयर से एडमिशन ले सकते हैं. इट मीन्स दैट मल्टीपल एंटर एंड मल्टीपल एग्जिट. और अगर हम एक साल करके एजुकेशन को छोड़ रहे हैं, मतलब एक साल करके अगर हम अपना ग्रेजुएशन छोड़ रहे हैं, तो उसके लिए हमें एक सर्टिफिकेट मिलेगा जो कि हम सेकेंड ईयर में जाएंगे तो वो दिखाएंगे, जिसके कारण से हमें सेकेंड ईयर में फिर से एडमिशन मिलेगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई if we do first only 1 year, then the what college provide us one certificate. And अगर हम 2 साल करते तो उसके लिए हमें डिप्लोमा मिलेगा. मीन्स 2 साल करके अगर हम छोड़ रहे हैं, अगर हम 3 साल करके छोड़ रहे हैं, इट मीन्स हमें डिग्री मिल जाएगा. और अगर हम 4 साल टोटली पूरा कंप्लीट करके छोड़ रहे हैं तो उसमें रिसर्च प्लस डिग्री दोनों मिलेगा. इट मीन्स हम पूरा अपना मतलब जो भी हम BA/BEd इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्स कर रहे थे वो हम कंप्लीट कर चुके हैं, जिसके कारण हमें रिसर्च डिग्री मिल जाएगा. सो दिस इज द न्यू एडेड दिस थिंग न्यू these are the new things that came in this new policy. So there is something that changes in the graduation system, that is 4 year integrated course, 1 year B.Ed, 2 year B.Ed. So अगर हम 10 plus 2,
now you are specifically talking about teacher education.
Yes ma'am, no.
Okay.
So if we decided to do our BA/BEd integrated course, so हम BA/BEd जो 4 साल का इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्स होता है वो ले सकते हैं. बट अगर हम पहले अगर हम ग्रेजुएशन में बीटेक किए हो, इट मीन्स 3 years, सो अब हमें मन कर रहा है कि टीचर अब हम बने, तो इसके लिए हमें 2 साल का ग्रेजुएशन करना पड़ेगा. और अगर हम ग्रेजुएशन कर चुके हैं BA और समथिंग BSc, सिर्फ ग्रेजुएशन, और फिर हम पहले MA कर चुके हैं, मीन्स किसी एक सब्जेक्ट में मास्टरी डिग्री ले चुके, देन हम फिर से B.Ed करना चाहते हो, तब हम 1 साल का B.Ed कर सकते हैं. इट मीन्स फॉर MA स्टूडेंट दे हैव टू डू 1 year B.Ed course, and for other 3 years graduation student they have to do 2 years of B.Ed. And then all it is cleared about the 4 year integrated course. Means अगर हम डिसाइड कर चुके हैं कि हम आगे हम एजुकेशन हमको टीचर ही बनना है, तब हम ये 4 साल का एजुकेशन कोर्स कर सकते हैं जो कि BA/BEd इंटीग्रेटेड कोर्स होता है, और BSc/BEd whatever it is. And then the more thing that is in this policy, that is strengthening the TET. We know as we have to clear the CTET or UP-TET or any TET for the teacher. For if we are going to become a teacher, we have to clear this test, that is teacher eligibility test. So अब क्या होगा कि इसके जो अभी पहले जो था कि अगर हम किसी कारण से एग्जाम को बिना टेट क्लियर ही अगर हम प्राइवेट स्कूल में जाते थे, तो हम बिना टेट क्लियर भी एडमिशन हमको ले लिया जाता था एज ए टीचर, मीन्स अपॉइंट कर लिया जाता था. पर अब ऐसा नहीं होगा. अब अगर आप टीचर टेट कंप्लीट नहीं किए हैं, it is seated or any state, then you are not certified as a teacher in any school that whatever it is, either it is private or either it is what public. And then the one more thing is setting up of Parak. Parak means setting up of National Center for Performance Assessment, Review and Analysis of Knowledge for Holistic Development. This Parak, it means that अगर टीचर को अब ऐसा नहीं है कि अगर कोई टीचर मतलब एक डिग्री एक मतलब स्टेज बनाया गया है जिससे वो टीचर को वो स्टेज क्लियर करके जाना पड़ेगा तब उस बच्चे का असेसमेंट कर सकता है. इट मीन्स ऐसे नहीं कि अगर उसका फेवरेट स्टूडेंट है तो वो किसी को बच्चे को ज्यादा मार्क्स दे सकता है और उसका फेवरेट नहीं है तो वो किसी को कम मार्क्स देगा, ऐसा नहीं है. अब वो पूरा असेसमेंट, रिव्यू एंड एनालिसिस ऑफ नॉलेज जिससे कि बच्चे का होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हो सके, इन सब को वो देखेगा, असेस करेगा, रिव्यू करेगा, एनालिसिस ऑफ नॉलेज करेगा बच्चा को, जिससे कि बच्चे का होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट हो सके. Then recruitment of teacher, as we know that there are very less vacancy for the teacher, so this policy says that the numbers of recruitment of teacher came so that the many teachers that are not that are sitting in their home after doing TET also, so they have this some opportunity to join the teacher as a in any school like KVS or JNV etc. So अब ये किया गया है कि अब जो केवी टीचर्स में ऐसा होता था कि बहुत सारे एक्सेसिव ट्रांसफर होते रहते थे. अगर वो एक साल के बाद ट्रांसफर चाहे तो वो कर सकता था कि किसी कारण से, अगर उसके फैमिली बैकग्राउंड के कारण से भी अगर ट्रांसफर होना चाहता था तो वो कर सकता था. पर अब एक्सेसिव ट्रांसफर को कम कर दिया गया. एज वी नो डेट इन द स्टेज ऑफ दैट from 8 to 11, that is preparatory stage, this policy says that the teacher have to teach in their mother tongue. So it gives emphasis to the regional teachers in any the school of KVS. It means the KV of any place, they should have to appoint the teacher of that place, not any other place. As we know that some belongs to Punjab and they appointed as a teacher in a KV in Kerala. So there is a language problem there, so that the student not able to understand, and there is a communication gap between the teacher and the student. But there is something new in this policy that the school has to appoint the teacher that belongs to only that place that which is in KV, which the place KVS belongs to. So these are the some new policy that come in this teacher education. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You have gone through in detail, but some features you could highlight of teacher education and little bit of higher education also, which is because we are concerned mainly with teacher education, but I think looking at you, you also look forward for higher education also. All of you may not be intending to be taking up the teaching profession right now. From all these angles, school education, higher education and teacher education, all three areas become very useful for us to know. But definitely this is just the policy which is new and which has come up. There are many questions which are unanswered and there are many confusions. As you are telling, medium of instruction up to class 5, is it nowhere it says it's only mother tongue. And of course, as you said, appointment of teachers from different languages across the region is, they recommend it. But what are the major things which we have to think when a new policy comes up? A new policy has come. So many changes for good, of course, has been suggested, has been recommended. But how is it implemented? What are the systemic requirements in order to see the implementation of the recommendation? These are the major questions which we have to find answers, and it will be answered in coming days definitely there will be a implementation plan. There is already suggested implementation plan and timeline. You can go through that. It is just for your understanding of basic issues. I thought we shall have this discussion. Thank you. I think if anybody is prepared, well prepared, and want to say something, they are welcome. Otherwise, we'll go back to our routine.
Hello, ma'am. I'm audible.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question about that multiple exit and multiple entry policy that Manisha said.
Mm,
Suppose I'm a student of BA in some college and I
mm,
drop out after first year. I mean,
mm.
I discontinue. Then can I use that certificate to join a BA B.Ed college,
Uh, okay.
or I have to join a BA course in other college or that same college?
See, Manisha, you want to say something or shall I say? See,
Yes,
what?
ma'am.
Tell me. Tell. No, okay.
Ma'am, it means if we are gaining that certificate means 1 year I had completed in our previous years, so that's why I get got admission in any colleges if I give to that college the this certificate of 1 year.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, okay. I know this. See, at right now we are all in this process of making clear of the recommendations, and the recommendation per se is not giving us any clear indication of answering a question very clearly. But Maharshi, your question of saying if you discontinue at first year and can you join somewhere in the second year, be very clear. This will be all these will be implemented with the new curriculum in place, because in order to have a exit entry policy, the curriculum should be totally changed in order to suit that, because the present policy recommends a 4 years graduate program which is multidisciplinary and with exit and entry option. And when we say 1 year is certificate, 2 years is diploma, anywhere you study, it is accumulation of credit. The credit will be in your account. So whenever you want, wherever you want, it is transferable. That is the flexibility, the freedom. It is little bit of, we had a rigid system of higher education all these years. This is looking at liberating to some extent, wherein the learner can choose the subjects of their interest. And if they want to, as she was telling, if you have any economical problem, or sometimes health issues, or some migration issues, for some reasons, if somebody is not able to continue the course, at the end of 1 year, the credits are given, and that is valid as a, you must be aware now, there are certificate courses, diploma courses, degree courses, PG courses, PG diplomas. There are a variety of courses, but they were all little rigid. But now with the new policy, we are looking at little flexibility, wherein exit and entry. But I'm again saying it is not for your course right now. Hope you have understood that. It will not be applicable to you. This will be for the courses which are beginning from the first initial year, and curriculum and the system. So the system reformation, or the system staying in its place to give all these things, is the first requirement, the systemic requirement. Along with that, the curricular aspects, and the people who are implementing it also should be very well versed and clear about all these things. It will slowly happen. If you see, they have given a timeline also. Very clearly, they have given the implementation policies and the timeline. Anything else, Maharshi, in this regard?
No, ma'am. That's all.
Okay.
Ma'am, I would like to add some positive point and some criticism.
You're not very clear, Anisha.
Ma'am, actually, network problem is there.
Yeah,
Ma'am, am I audible now?
you're audible but not very clear.
Okay, ma'am. Then I can share the notes with others.
No, you tell. Let anybody in the class can try to understand and they can also repeat it. Tell.
Okay, ma'am. The source of my information is basically Twitter. The first advantage is the increase in the percentage of GDP to the educational sector, which is now increased to 6%. Previously, in 2020, it was 4.2%, and in 2080, it was around 3%. The increase
I'm
in
sorry.
GDP.
I'm sorry. I'm not able to listen clearly.
Okay, ma'am.
I'm really sorry, Anisha.
Ma'am,
You have some. They.
ma'am, she is saying that the GDP percentage has increased to 6%. Earlier, it was 4.4% and
1
3%.
minute. Just hold on, Debapriya. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hold on. Yeah, Debapriya, were you able to hear?
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. I don't know why I'm not able to hear then. Is it something, maybe my system, difficulty with my system? Tell.
Ma'am, she said that now GDP percent has increased to
Mm,
6%.
mm, mm, mm,
Earlier,
mm.
it was 4.46%.
Yeah.
And in 2018, it was around 3%,
Mm,
3.4%.
mm,
This was also suggested by Kothari Commission in 1986 NCE, but at that time it was not
mm,
implemented.
mm, mm, mm. Yeah.
This is the first important point of this
Yes.
new education policy, that the increase in
Yes.
the GDP.
Mm,
Second is the top universities of India will get
mm,
chance to
mm.
establish in other countries.
No, just a
And top,
minute for your first point also. Let us just open it to everybody. See,
okay,
right
ma'am.
from the first policy, there is a recommendation of increasing the GDP, but
Yes,
because of
ma'am.
national priorities, it was not being able to implement that. And now again the new policy has come out with the same. So we really have to see why we were not able to do it all these years, and when we are doing it now, how will that be adjusted at the national economics level? How is it adjusted? Can we should do, there is no doubt about it. If you see the countries which are doing well educationally, you can see a higher GDP to the education sector, and there is no doubt about investment into education is a guarantee for national development. Many countries have proved it. Finland is an example. 30 years back, they changed their policies. They have changed several things. Some of you might be following the Finland system of education. Mm, what changes did they bring in? Mainly in GDP and in teacher education. They changed 30 years back, they did, and we are seeing the result now. They are much ahead of educational attainment and progress of the country compared to many countries in the world, which are huge countries with more resources. What is that Finland's magic is? Only these two things. One is increased GDP. The second one is reformation in the teacher education. This is something which we have to ponder over. It is a critical question for us. All these years we have not done. Will we do it? Should we do it? How to do it is a question. It's an open question for all of you. Yeah. What is the next one?
Ma'am, I would like to add one more point in this sector. In this sector only, when the first educational policy came, 1968, at that time also the GDP percentage here was 6%, but due to the that time uh, in, uh, here in the percentage of different sector it was not implemented, and in the second entry also it was not implemented. But right now it is the need of the society to increase the GDP, because everything is related to education and literacy. The society is poor because of lack of education. Population is increasing because of lack of education. People are not getting good jobs because of education.
Yeah.
So the root of the problem is illiteracy. So investing in education is the root of any developed nation. My second point is top university of India will get a chance to establish in other countries, and other top universities of other countries will get a chance to set up in India, and proper assessment will be done.
Yes, that proposal is also there. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. And the third point is no rigid difference between science and commerce. The student can choose science and economics. Physics and economics, physics and any art subject, or history and computer science. There will be no rigid difference. Third is breakfast will be provided in the midday meal school. Students will get motivated in the rural area to enroll in the education process. And till 2035, it is 2025 or 35, it is estimated to enroll the student in education field in the primary section to 100%.
Yeah.
The next point is report card. Earlier, only the teacher gives the report. Now, the peer assessment will also be an important part, and self assessment will also be an important part. ये दोनों चीजें बहुत ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है. अगर स्टूडेंट खुद से फील नहीं करेगा कि मैंने कुछ नहीं सीखा है इस ईयर में, देन उसका कोई मतलब इम्पोर्टेंट फीलिंग नहीं रहेगा. अगर मुझे खुद को पता है कि हाँ मैंने इस साल में इतना प्रोग्रेस किया है, देन वो ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल है एज कम्पेयर टू गिविंग ग्रेड टू द स्टूडेंट. The next point is e-learning resources will be available in different vernacular languages like Odia, Bengali, Kannada, English and Hindi, and many other new languages will be added. Ma'am, yes, put in mute.
Your microphone is on mute.
Sorry. No, just a correction. It is not Kannad. Kannad is not the language. Kannada is the language.
Okay, sorry.
Karnataka is the state. Kannada is the language. Because everybody say Kannad. Kannad nahi hai. Kannada.
Okay, Kannada. Then some of the criticism which is pending on Twitter. First is focus on language. Earlier, Guru, Priyanka, me, and one more girl from village today also pointed out this one. And in last class, we have discussed about this. Next point is child labor. This term is very much trending on YouTube, on Twitter, because it talks about the giving internship 10 days to the students, and students will not bring bags to the school during those 10 days. Students will be provided with internship of gardening, car painting, and other such courses. बट मुझे नहीं लगा कि इसमें कुछ चाइल्ड लेबर वाला कुछ चीज़ है, क्योंकि लाइक जो अदर डेवलप नेशन है लाइक फिनलैंड जिससे हमने बात किया, या फिर चाइना जिसमें जो IQ लेवल है वो स्टूडेंट्स का बहुत हाई है, उसमें ये सब कोर्सेज को बहुत ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंस दिया जाता है. बट इंडिया में ये सारा जो चीज़ें है उसको बहुत लोअर लेवल की नज़रों से देखा जाता है, तो मुझे इसमें कुछ क्रिटिसिज्म नहीं लगा. The next point is people say it's impractical because इसमें ये वाला एजुकेशन पॉलिसी में टीचर का बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रोल रहेगा, एंड टीचर्स जो है उनको बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स होना चाहिए, एंड उनका टीचिंग स्किल्स भी बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए, जो कि ये पॉलिसी डिमांड करती है. तो इस बेसिस पे बोला गया कि ये इम्प्रैक्टिकल है, ये इम्प्लाई नहीं हो पाएगा। देन नेक्स्ट इज मल्टीडिसिप्लिनरी कि एक कॉलेज को एक ही चीज़ पे फोकस करना चाहिए जिसमें वो अच्छी है, बाकी चीज मतलब ज़्यादा चीज़ों पे फोकस नहीं करना चाहिए। जो भी मुझे क्रिटिसिज्म नहीं लगा इसका, क्योंकि इट्स गुड कि अगर एक कॉलेज में बहुत सारे कोर्सेज हों। दैट only this much.
Thank you for adding some of the other features, especially the continuation of providing breakfast. There are specific reasons why the sociological aspects. Anyway, next class we have to talk about the sociological determinants of curriculum. Then we can also link to the new policy and the chapter 4 where they talk of curriculum and pedagogy in the new policy. That also we can link. And some things, I think, what other new thing, even education has been the 3 to 6 education of children in the age range of 3 to 6 also has been brought into the ambit of MHRD. Earlier it was fully under women and child development, that social justice and empowerment ministry, but now it will be under MHRD, but in coordination with other. There are interministerial coordination which is coming up as a very good recommendation, where Ministry of Health, Ministry of Social Justice Empowerment, Ministry of Tribal Affairs, all these coming together for education. Otherwise, you may be aware different ministries are involved in education of different categories of students, that will be merged together under for the purpose of this recommendation is also there. Any other features which are new, and anybody else who's prepared?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I want to add 1-2 points. Ma'am, first, and up to now it is UGC, means University Grants Commission, but now it will be a new education policy. It will be replaced by Higher Education Commission of India, HECI, and it will be a single umbrella body which will be controlling everything, excluding medical and legal education some. And also in higher education, like for research degree, we do PhD, but now there will be no need to do MPhil for university jobs, or like teacher for professor, or so that jobs. No MPhil degree is required. And also in technology in education, new things will be introduced like virtual labs, MOOC education, MOOC, massive open online courses. MOOC will be introduced and virtual labs will be introduced. So these are some reforms in technology in education.
Yeah, the developments in technology will be utilized for teacher professional development mainly, in order to give support to the in-service teachers, professional development, and also for the pre-service teachers, all the new knowledge which is coming up for at present and for the future requirements of the society will be brought into the pre-service teacher, and the in-service teacher also will be given lots of scope to learn new skills required for the new generation through continued professional development, mainly, as you rightly said, by utilizing the advances in technology, by giving courses, online courses on as per the requirement of the teachers and the context, because different areas, different levels of teachers may be requiring different professional competencies that will be planned through online courses, the MOOCs. Okay, good. Any one or two, anything new you want to add, which you have read or which you have heard, you can add. Something you feel, wow, it's really nice in the new policy. Or some critical issues if you have. What is this? How is it going to be implemented? Or what does this mean when the policy is stating something like this? What does it indicate? Any such questions has come to you? I'm sure you all, Priyanka wants to say something. Go ahead, Priyanka. Because I'm sure you are listening to TV news and newspapers and social media. A lot of discussion is happening, and you are the people who are directly related to this, and you have to, one is understand and then act as per the requirement now. So lots of questions should come in you. That's why I thought 2 class, let us use to discuss, debate, and open up some avenues wherein you can further feel like reading the policy.
Ma'am, actually, I have read one article in Times of India. Ma'am, there one writer said that up to some extent, commercialization of education can be helpful. Ma'am, so that many other personalities and intellectuals who actually want to put efforts in education can also be included there, so that government will be there, ma'am, government will be main holder, so that it can provide to the financially backward sections and others, those who want. But commercial people should also be included, because of various regulations and strict rules. Many people are not able to come into this, ma'am. So it was there that the commercialization should be up to some extent, not fully, should be given, ma'am.
Okay, that was somebody's article you are referring to. Anybody have a view about this, or shall I go ahead? I'm sure somebody will have something to say for this. Commercialization of education. No one?
Ma'am, good morning, ma'am.
Good
Ma'am, I think so. Commercialization, in my opinion, can be beneficial, as we have seen in past many years, the implementation has always been a default case in any policies. So, as such, other regulating or governing or just keeping in check with the implementation quite be beneficial, as we are going from as we say in Odisha state, from a state which has as the pre-primary section and primary section in a multi-grade classroom, from going there to having coding and other facilities provided to students, from a single teacher teaching in a particular class to 2 to 3 grade student, very inclusive, I mean to say, like in a multi-grade system, like many students in a particular place, because of the lack of monetary or various other conditions, from going there to going to use the computers and coding system, that will take a lot of monetary help in that way. And so commercialization also might bring a little bit more transparency in that case, that where, or in my opinion, I felt like it's a need, ma'am.
But I don't know. Anybody wants to say, or shall I go ahead? Anybody? Is there not commercialization of education right now in our country? Is education with the is it a public education system? Are we depending on right now? And can somebody say what is the implication of this dual system of education? If we say government schools should be there for those who cannot afford private education, don't you think we are creating two types of society?
Ma'am, I too agree that the gap between the private school and the government school is increasing, and this gap is not only affecting the society but also affecting the whole nation growth and development. Since, see, if the private schools are increasing their facilities and so-called lavishness, but government school are to the base and they are also giving the concrete education, but for the status symbol for this society and the teachers also, if getting a government job rather getting a private job, there develops a different mentality. So this gap is
Yeah, so Stuti, I'm really sorry. 11:30 is our time, no? I was fully, I was thinking 11:40 is, I'm so sorry. You have another class at 11:40. You think philanthropic engagement in education, though, is a suggestion which has come in. How it, right now, how is it going on? And this benefits of multigrade, though multigrade is existing and it is yeah, affecting some schools, the benefits of multigrade system also you can think of as peer tutoring has been emerged as one of the areas of giving better learning to everybody, and equality as the constitutional value. We hold equity, equality of educational opportunity, resource to be distributed equally to every citizen of the country. If we have dual system of education of having a very, very limited resource to some and a very good resource to others, how are we justifying ourselves as a country, democratic country, where distribution is very, very unequal right now? These are all questions which you can think ahead, think and go ahead. All the best. Keep reading and keep discussing these things. I'm sorry, I thought 11:40 तक हमारा class है. Next class, yeah.
Ma'am, actually, some government schools are also very good, ma'am. Like Navodaya system, from which I have read, though it was totally funded by central government, but it was absolutely wonderful. And central schools like KV and other schools are also like Adarsh Vidyalaya.
This is what, yes, Adarsh Vidyalaya, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya, they're all the government, the public money is utilized for that. But you must be aware, 1986 policy talked of nurturing rural talent, and the Navodaya came, and many students, including you, have got benefited and you are growing well. This is a good sign to the country. But do you know there was and there is opposition to Navodaya system of education because a huge resource is being channelized to few at the cost of some not getting any resource in education. This is their Acharya Ramamurthy committee report, if you see, or it came as a program of action for the 86 policy. You can see there are opposition for Navodaya because it is taking a huge fund from the public system, from education sector, for the deprivation of some schools. All these are for you to further think. We should have, in a democracy, should we give privilege to some? Meritocracy. These are all issues, you know, for you to ponder over. I really don't have a right answer as yes or no for it. It's debatable.
Ma'am, actually, one more question I have to ask you, ma'am, to clarify, ma'am. Ma'am, now as we can see, many government teachers, especially for we can see from high school teachers to primary school teachers also, they even, ma'am, our professors are also engaged in many other works except from education. I mean, like when the class is going on, because of many issues, the teachers are not able to be in the class. Ma'am, the teachers should give enough time to prepare for the students and focus all their resources in the classroom and for benefit of the students.
I got your point, but again, it all depends on the teacher also. You have very rightly pointed out, and this is also a criticism which is going on, but still learning can happen in an environment which, if a culture is created, teacher's presence always may not be a requirement. Rather, that culture which is created by the teacher can also be a wonderful space of learning with limit. Also, learning can happen, but the responsibility lies with the elders, like teachers in the system of education. Direct responsibility is with the teachers in ensuring quality engagement of learners who ever come to the school. That's again a critical aspect, how they have to share their time between the other responsibilities. Is it right to have other responsibilities? If that responsibility is not taken by the teacher, who else has to take the responsibility? These are all, in a country like, keeping our situation in mind, you have to reflect upon. Thank you so much. We have crossed the time. Next class, we shall go into our discussion of sociological determinants of curriculum development. Okay, bye-bye. All the best. Sorry for... I was fully under the impression our class is till 11:40 because I usually take 10 to 10:40 class. I got carried away. Thank you for your continued discussion. Thank you.